Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond the Box Score, and I am your host Hayat. Today we're breaking down 5 college basketball matchups on February 22nd, and I'm walking through this slate exactly how my brain processes it in real time. Messy, loud, connecting dots, questioning numbers, looking at tempo, turnover rates, road splits, momentum swings, all of it. We've got some really interesting contrasts today, teams spiraling versus teams heating up, elite turnover profiles versus pressure defenses, pace wars, glass advantages, and a couple spots where the market might be overreacting to recent results. I'm not just looking at spreads, I'm looking at identity. Who controls tempo? Who wins the possession battle? Who travels well? Who's quietly trending up or down? This is pure analysis and opinion. No guarantees. No locks. Just how I see these 5 games setting up if they unfold the way the data and current form suggest. Alright, let's get into this February 22nd slate and start connecting the dots. First game we have UAB versus Memphis. The lean here is UAB plus 4.5 and over 152.5. Let me walk through why. So tip time noon, and I always start with the profile of both teams before I even look at the number twice. Memphis Tigers are 12-4 overall, 7-6 in conference play, and they've lost 3 straight games. Not just lost, they lost by 21 points in their last loss, and before that a 24-point loss. That's back-to-back blowout-type defeats, and when I see 3 straight losses stacked on top of 21 and 24-point margins, I immediately ask myself, is this a team spiraling a little bit? Now they are 10-3 at home, which matters, and 2-0 away, but this is still a team that's struggling right now. UAB Blazers are 17-10 overall, 8-6 in conference play, won 3 of last 4, won 5 of last 7, and this is the part that really jumps out, 8-2 away, won 8 straight road games after dropping their first 2 road games. That's not random, that's comfort, that's confidence. Now statistically, this is where it gets interesting. UAB has the lowest turnover percentage in the nation, first. That's elite ball security. They're 35th in assist-to-turnover ratio. They take care of the ball and they move it. Memphis defensively is 56th forcing turnovers, so what happens when a team that lives off pressure runs into the team that literally turns it over the least in the country? That collision right there matters. If Memphis can't generate live ball turnovers, that removes a huge part of their identity. And then you layer in the fact that UAB has the edge on the glass, better overall on the glass than Memphis, and Memphis is weak on the offensive glass. So if UAB wins the turnover battle by not giving it away and wins the rebounding battle by having the edge on the glass, that's possession control. That's math. Tempo-wise, Memphis 61st, UAB 92nd, both top 100 in pace. So this is not a grind. And head-to-head trends back that up. Overhit 3 of the last 4. Earlier this season the total landed at 170 with the line at 152.5, and it went over 152.5 comfortably. That's not a 1-point sweat. That's a flyover. And now the current total is 152.5, opened at 148.5 and climbed to 152.5. That's market agreement with pace and matchup. It's still available at 151.5. 150.5 pay juice, 149.5 pay decent juice. Overhit in 4 of Memphis' last 5 games as favorite. Projection range says overplayable up to 153.5. If this matchup plays out like UAB protects the ball the way they have all season, lowest turnover percentage in the nation, and Memphis doesn't get those run-out points, then we're talking about a half-court game where UAB's efficiency and edge on the glass start to show. One path I see here is Memphis pushing tempo at 61st pace, UAB answering at 92nd pace, both top 100, and the scoring climbing again like that 170 earlier. What connects for me is the road profile, 8-2 away, 8 straight road wins, against a Memphis team that's lost 3 straight and just took 21 and 24-point losses. That's not stable form. Yeah, Memphis favored, UAB plus 4.5. Moneyline plus 184, I think UAB absolutely has a live shot, and with the total climbing from 148.5 to 152.5 and still playable up to 153.5, I'm not scared of the number. Yeah, the The lean sticks at UAB plus 4.5 and over 152.5. Now move to next game, Iona versus Merrimack. The lean here is under 138.5. Let me walk through why. Tip time 1 p.m., and this one screams pace war before I even get into the defensive splits. Merrimack Warriors are 19-9 overall, 15-2 in conference play, won 7 straight games, 10-0 at home. That home number matters because under hit in 17 of last 22 home games, 77% hit rate. Under in 3 of last 4, under in 7 of last 9, 61% under rate on season. That's not variance, that's identity. Iona Gaels 16-2 overall, 8-9 in conference play, but they've lost 6 of last 7 on the road, 5-7 overall in that stretch, and 4 of 5 road wins came at beginning of season. So current form on the road is not great. Tempo rankings, Merrimack 347th adjusted tempo, 347th. That's almost bottom of the country. Iona 114th adjusted tempo, which is quicker, but still not blazing. Both teams play slow pace, not many second chance opportunities. That's important because Iona is 334th offensive glass. Merrimack offense is 345th offensive glass. So neither team is generating extra possessions through second chance points. That matters massively for totals. Now the efficiency layers. Iona 265th offensive rating, 176th turnover percentage, 334th offensive glass. That's a below average offense across the board. And they're walking into a Merrimack defense that is 27th points allowed, 57th shooting percentage allowed, 7th three-point percentage allowed, 19th effective field goal percentage allowed, 46th turnover percentage. That's a defense that contests threes at an elite level, 7th three-point percentage allowed, and limits efficient shots, 19th effective field goal percentage allowed. In Merrimack offense, 331st points per game, 324th field goal percentage, 288th two-point percentage, 256th three-point percentage, 293rd effective field goal percentage, 345th offensive glass. That's not an offense built to explode. Earlier meeting Iona won by 1 point, 61-60, total 121. That's 121 combined points. And now the total is sitting at 138.5, opened at 135.5 and moved up to 138.5. Market nudged it up, but I'm looking at the structural DNA here. Merrimack 347th tempo, under hit in 17 of last 22 home games, 77% hit rate, under in 7 of last 9, 61% under rate on season. Iona 3 straight games under 138.5. Both teams play slow pace. Not many second chance opportunities. Total sitting at 138.5. If this matchup plays out like Merrimack drags Iona into 347th tempo, forces tough threes with that 7th three-point percentage allowed, and neither team crashes because Iona 334th offensive glass and Merrimack 345th offensive glass, then where are the easy points coming from? One path I see here is a repeat of something closer to that 61-60 type game, maybe not exactly 121 again, but something where 138.5 feels inflated relative to the offensive profiles. Iona 265th offensive rating, Merrimack 331st points per game. What connects for me is the consistency of the undertrends layered with tempo and lack of second chance opportunities. Spread is Merrimack minus 8.5, but for me the number that matters most is 138.5. Yeah, the lean sticks at under 138.5. Here we go with next game between Michigan State Spartans versus Ohio State Buckeyes. The lean here is Michigan State laying the points at home. Let me walk through why. We're at the Breslin Center, East Lansing, and that matters to me immediately because Michigan State Spartans are 21-5 overall, 11-4 in conference, and they just defeated UCLA 82-59 in last matchup. That's not a grind-it-out win, that's a statement. Ohio State Buckeyes are 17-9 overall, 9-6 in conference, and they've been alternating wins and losses in each of their last 9 games, which tells me rhythm hasn't really locked in. They did defeat Wisconsin 86-69 in last matchup, so they're coming off a strong performance, but when I zoom out and look at consistency, that alternating wins and losses pattern just keeps flashing in my head. And then I look at Ohio State upcoming schedule: Michigan State, Iowa, Purdue, Penn State, Indiana, at home. That's a stretch where this spot matters, and sometimes when I see a schedule stacked like that, I wonder how much pressure creeps in. Now when I get into the Big Ten conference play numbers, and remember the Big Ten has 18 teams, Michigan State defense jumps off the page. 4th in 3-point defense, 2nd in 2-point defense, best rebounding team in the Big Ten. So if this matchup plays out like Michigan State locks down the arc and protects the paint while controlling the glass is the best rebounding team in the Big Ten, whereas Ohio State finding easy offense. And then I flip it, Michigan State offense is dead last in the Big Ten in turnover percentage on offense, which is not good, I'm not ignoring that, but they're also 2nd in offensive rebounding and the best free throw shooting team in the conference at 80.1%. So even if they're dead last in turnover percentage on offense, they create extra possessions because they're 2nd in offensive rebounding, and when they get to the line they convert at 80.1%. And Michigan State does not give up many free throws, which quietly neutralizes easy points for Ohio State. Ohio State is 15th out of 18 teams in defensive rebounding. That right there is the pressure point. If Michigan State is 2nd in offensive rebounding and Ohio State is 15th out of 18 teams in defensive rebounding, that's second chance math tilting toward the home team. What connects for me is defense plus glass plus free throws at 80.1% layered on top of Breslin's center, East Lansing Energy. And we're talking about Michigan State laying the points at home, projected to win and cover. One path I see here is Michigan State's 4th in 3-point defense and 2nd in 2-point defense squeezing Ohio State into tougher looks, forcing them to live in mid-range inefficiency while Michigan State pounds the glass as the best rebounding team in the Big Ten. Even with being dead last in the Big Ten in turnover percentage on offense, if they offset that with 2nd in offensive rebounding and 80.1% from the line, I think the math supports separation. Yeah. That's why the lean sticks at Michigan State laying the points at home. Quick pause for a second. If you've got an even one lean you're rocking with so far, hit that like button. Seriously. That tells me these full 5-game slate breakdowns are worth the time and energy because you know I'm not skimming. I'm digging into tempo rankings, turnover percentages, road splits, glass advantages, all of it. And if you're new here and you like this raw, thinking out loud format where we actually break down why a number makes sense or doesn't, hit subscribe. It takes a second for you. It means everything for the channel. Alright, back to the slate. Now we have Iowa versus Wisconsin. The lean here is Wisconsin at home. Let me walk through why. Location is Madison, Wisconsin, and when I think Wisconsin at home, I immediately start with recent results because momentum here feels layered. Wisconsin beat Illinois as 9.5-point underdogs. And won outright. That's not just a cover, that's a statement. Then they beat Michigan State in following game by 21 points. A 21-point win over Michigan State is not subtle. Then they lost to Ohio State 86-69 in Columbus, so they've seen a high and then a road stumble. Iowa's last 3 games tell a different story. They lost at Maryland by 7 points. They lost at home versus Purdue by 21 points. Then they beat Nebraska 57-52. That 57-52 win stands out because Iowa's defensive performance held Nebraska to 52 points in 57-52 win, so I'm not dismissing that defensive effort. On the road, Iowa lost to Maryland on the road, lost at Purdue on the road, but they do have road wins over Washington and road wins over Oregon. So they're not incapable of winning away from home, but consistency hasn't been clean. Now stylistically, Wisconsin has size advantage, they do not turn over the ball, they hit their free throws, and they allow the 9th fewest turnovers in all of college basketball. That's a big one. Iowa's ability to force turnovers is a strength, but if Wisconsin allows the 9th fewest turnovers in all of college basketball and they do not turn over the ball, then Iowa's defensive pressure might not create the chaos it needs. If this matchup plays out like Wisconsin leverages size advantage, protects the ball, hits their free throws, and neutralizes Iowa's ability to force turnovers, then Iowa is playing uphill in Madison, Wisconsin. Wisconsin is laying a short number, and sometimes those short home numbers are just respect for the opponent, not doubt about the host. One path I see here is Wisconsin controlling tempo through ball security, allowing the ninth fewest turnovers in all of college basketball, while Iowa struggles to replicate that 57-52 defensive performance away from home like they did holding Nebraska to 52 points. What connects for me is Wisconsin's profile: size advantage, do not turn over the ball, hit their free throws, against an Iowa team that just lost at home versus Purdue by 21 points and has those road losses at Maryland and at Purdue. In Madison, Wisconsin, with that recent stretch that included beating Illinois as 9.5-point underdogs and winning outright plus beating Michigan State by 21 points, I lean into the home side. Yeah, that's why the lean sticks at Wisconsin at home. Last game for this video is FAU versus North Texas. The lean here is FAU plus 2.5. Let me walk through why. Spread is North Texas minus 2.5, FAU plus 2.5, and both teams are 15-12 on the year. FAU is coming off 8-point road win at UTSA, which I like because it shows they can travel and close. They're top 60 in pace, shoot 46% from the field, top 30 rebounding team in the country, defense top 100, but they struggle with turnovers. North Texas lost home game to Tulane by 6 points. They score 70 points per game, bottom 75 in pace, shoot 43% from the field, and 29% from three-point range. Majority of lineup came from Cleveland State, head coach came from Cleveland State. And North Texas is described as slow pace plus poor shooting. Tulane was stated as, not nearly as good as FAU, and North Texas just lost home game to Tulane by 6 points. If this matchup plays out like FAU pushes with top 60 in pace against a North Texas team that is bottom 75 in pace, that contrast matters. One path I see here is FAU's top 30 rebounding team in the country overwhelming a North Texas group that shoots 43% from the field and 29% from three-point range. What connects for me is efficiency: 46% from the field for FAU versus 43% from the field and 29% from three-point range for North Texas. And yes, FAU struggles with turnovers, so that's the swing factor. But North Texas slow pace plus poor shooting combined with losing a home game to Tulane by 6 points, and Tulane, not nearly as good as FAU, that's a red flag for me when they're laying minus 2.5. Both 15-12 on the year, but FAU coming off 8-point road win at UTSA, defense top 100, top 30 rebounding team in the country, that rebounding travels. Even if North Texas scores 70 points per game on average, if they're bottom 75 in pace and shooting 29% from three-point range, I'm not convinced they separate. Yeah, that's why the lean sticks at FAU plus 2.5. Alright, that wraps it up for all 5 matchups on February 22nd. As always, this was analysis and opinion only, nothing guaranteed. Just me working through the math, the tempo, the matchups, and how these spots could realistically play out if the situations line up the way they look on paper. Now I'm curious. Drop AZ in the comments and tell me which game you're most confident in tonight. Was it the pace spot? The glass advantage? The road trend? Or are you fading one of my leans completely? I read everything. More full slates coming soon, same raw format, same deep dives, same real-time thinking. And remember, we don't guess. We connect the dots. I'll see you in the next one.